Hi guys, how's it going? It's Tom Chagi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the tax-free savings account. It's a new month, new tax year. The tax year starts from the beginning of March and ends the end of February, meaning that if you want to save or invest in the tax-free savings account, you need to do so within this period so you don't get taxed. That's if you are within the limits. So we're going to look at why you must save or invest in the tax-free savings account, how to do so, and the common mistakes that you need to avoid. Like I've said, that the tax year starts on the 1st of March and ends at the end of Feb. So there is a limit. You cannot save or invest more than 36,000. If you do so, SARS is going to tax you. And we live in a country where we get taxed heavily. It's VAT, it's payee, it's income tax, it's company tax, a whole lot of taxes, right? So this is actually a tool that was put in place so that you and I can somehow avoid to pay taxes legally and to also get some tax relief. So in a period of 12 months, there is a limit of 36,000, like I say. So you need to make sure that your contributions in your savings or your investments, they do not exceed the 36,000. And there is a limited lifetime limit of 500,000, meaning that if one day you wake up and you've been saving or investing the TFSA for so many years and your balance is 500,000, you cannot invest more because you will be taxed. And the reason why you must save or invest in the TFSA is that you do not get taxed. Any profit that you make in the TFSA, any interest, any dividend income you receive, it is not going to be taxed. And we know that there is tax that is imposed on interest, there is tax on dividends, there is tax on capital gains. So when you have your money in the TFSA, SARS is not going to touch it. They're not going to demand any sort of taxes from your investments. So that's how you actually get to keep your money. Because let's give you an example with the dividends. When you get the dividends in an account that gets taxed, you are going to pay 20% of your dividends to SARS, meaning that if you receive 100 rands in dividends, you are going to take 20 rands and give it to SARS, right? And I say all the time that money is money, there is no little money. So that amount of money being given to SARS, you could actually take it, reinvest it, and buy more of your shares or put into an interest-bearing account and just grow your money. And again, on the capital gains, if you invest, if you buy an asset, and it increases in value and you sell it for a profit, you're going to get taxed on that profit. That's one thing about SARS, they always need a portion of your money. So investing or saving with a tax-free savings account is one thing that you need to consider. And on interest as well, if you have a TFSA with a bank, obviously your interest is going to be taxed. But also there is an exemption on interest. So if you are a person younger than 65, like me, you are going to be given an exemption of 23,800, meaning that if your interest income is within this limit, you are not going to get taxed. And if you are somebody who is 65 and older, you have an annual limit of 34,500. And obviously, if you think about it, for you to receive an interest income of 23,800, you're going to have to save a lot of money. So I would say for the ones that still have their money in the TFSA, they can actually save as much as they can. But the one thing that you need to keep in mind is that there is this exemption, and just make sure that if you're going to have a lot of money in the bank, just be sure that the interest income, it is within this limits so you don't get taxed. So the reason why you need to have your money in a TFSA is so that you can avoid all of these taxes. Now let's talk about saving in the TFSA and investing in the TFSA. In personal finance, we always talk about growing your money. And if we are just going to be honest, if you save your money in a TFSA, you are less likely to grow your money above the inflation rate. And when you invest in a TFSA, you are going to beat inflation. So with saving in a TFSA, this is through banks, right? These banks do offer a TFSA. If you are somebody who's not so comfortable with investing, because most people are not, then you can look to save your money in the TFSA. But now the thing is, like I said, that your money will less likely to grow above the inflation rate. There's always a cap at how much you can get in interest income. If the bank is offering you 7%, you are never going to get more than that unless they decide to increase their interest rates. But with investing, you can get way more than that because there are a lot of ETFs or unit trust that you can invest in and get a rate of return of 10% or even more. We are going to look at that. And it's actually okay to keep some cash. In as much as we say that you need to invest most of your money, it is okay to keep some cash, and it's actually advisable that you get to do so because investing is risky on its own. So saving money, you actually get to protect some of your money. So I would say that if you are looking to save and you're not saving for the short term but for the long term, then you can look to save your money in the TFSA. And with investing, you can actually buy unit trust or exchange traded funds. Those are ETFs. And personally, I'm a huge fan of exchange traded funds. So I invest in the TFSA in Easyequities. So if you go into Easyequities, I have logged into my account, and then you go to invest now. You will get to these tabs here showing all of these accounts, ZAR account, TFSA, RA, and then you can click on tax-free savings account, right? And you are going to see all of this ETFs that are under the tax-free savings account. So if you want to invest in the TFSA, you need to come here and buy these ETFs. And the mistake that you must not make is to put money into Easyequities, into the TFSA, leave it there and not buy anything. If you do that, your money is not going to grow. It's just going to be there. So for your money to grow, you need to come and buy some of these ETFs. And like I said, that these ETFs can actually grow above the inflation rate. That is you beating the inflation and making more money. Because the truth is, money loses value over time. And the question is, are you still going to be able to afford the things that you afford now? And you might not. So you need to make sure that your money is growing above the inflation rate so that you can live comfortably and not compromise the quality of your life. And there are a whole lot of ETFs that you can buy, but personally I love to invest in ETFs that are actually well diversified, that track companies in foreign countries, especially in countries that have the largest economies. An example of that is the S&P 500. So we can look at the S&P 500 and see how much it returns a year. So in a year, if you were investing in this S&P 500 ETF, your money would have grown by 13.78%. This is way above the inflation rate. So you will decide if whether you save or invest with the TFSA, but also consider the returns that you're going to get in each of these accounts. Now let's look at the common mistakes people make with the TFSA. Number one is having multiple tax-free savings accounts. They have one with the bank, or multiple banks have it with Stash or with Easyequities. Stash is a TFSA and most people are not aware of it. The mistake that most people make is that you have with a bank, you have it with Stash, you have it with Easyequities, and you contribute more than 36,000 in a year. You have 15,000 in the bank, 15 with Easyequities, 15 with Stash. That is way more than 36,000. And then you are going to wonder why SARS is taxing you. It's taxing you because you have went above the limit. If you want to have the TFSA with multiple institutions, then just make sure that the total contributions are within the 36,000 limit. And the second mistake is using the TFSA for short-term savings goal. You cannot do that because you are actually tampering with the lifetime limit that you have. The best thing you can do if you want to save for short-term goals is to save your money in a normal savings account, not a TFSA. And also on that, if you are not going to need the money short-term, you're going to withdraw from the TFSA, and then you might come back and save way above the limit. Or if you are going to track how much you have taken out, then that is better. But I would not actually suggest that you save for short term with the TFSA. And the last one is opening a TFSA for your child and use it for your own benefits. You don't want to do that because you are actually tampering with the benefits of your child. So just make sure that you use the TFSA for yourself and use it wisely. And for those who will be investing in the TFSA, I would say that prioritize this TFSA because that's where you actually get the tax benefits. And that's what I do personally. So I put up a video a few days ago where I talked about building my US portfolio. I do have ETFs in there, but I am going to prioritize the ones that are in my TFSA because I want to get the tax benefits. Those ones I will see them when I'm done with my TFSA, because in this case it's not solely about returns but also about getting the tax benefits. If I focus on the ones in my USD account, I'm going to get taxed heavily, right? So if I can avoid taxes, then why not? That's what I am going to do, and that's what I think is the wisest thing to do to actually save on taxes. So yeah, let's prioritize the TFSA, and if you have not started with the TFSA, either saving or investing, I really urge you to consider it. And for those that have ETFs in the ZAR account, not in the TFSA, please do something about that because you are getting taxed. And the thing with Easyequities is that you are not even seeing that you're being taxed because they do the taxes for you. whatever dividend you have, they have taken the SARS portion and they have given it to SARS already. So they do it on your behalf and you don't actually get to see it. And maybe you feel like, oh, it's not that much of a big deal, but actually it is that much of a big deal, simply because those small amounts that you think are not a lot can actually go a very long way. So if you have ETFs in the ZAR account, I'm not somebody who encourages selling your investments. I would say leave them there, but then continue with them in the TFSA. And now is the perfect time to do so, because it's the beginning of the tax year. You now have 12 months to actually invest in the TFSA and take advantage of the tax benefit. And that's all that I have to share with the TFSA today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.